Ask Reddit asks, what's the biggest lie you've ever been told? My alcoholic mom told me for years that my dad was a pedophile drug dealer, so that when CPS asked who I wanted to live with, I always said her. She told the courts this too, so that she could try to maintain custody. Yeah, that was all a lie. My brother had a family reunion at his home. My parents knew and attended, but nobody told me. When I called him out on it, he said it was just a small impromptu gathering. There were over 100 plus people there, and most came from several states away. Ignore the bully and he will go away. He only went away after I punched him in the face. My parents told me I was allergic to cigarettes. I believed it for 17 years, and I still ended up a smoker. This pack contains 32 different crayon colors. All of the crayons were purple. That my father was in college. I was told this until I was 7. He was in jail, where he would be until I was 16, and was since I was a baby. Edit to add. It's a cross between the first thing and my mom telling me she was leaving in the middle of the night to go look for my sister. There was a missing persons report out on her, only later to find out she was getting high. My dad told me he was deployed for the military, when he was really in jail. My dad told me he lost the rights to my older brothers, and their mom left him because she fell in with some religious fundamentalists, and that they convinced her to leave and take his family away from him. The truth was way more believable. He was constantly cheating on her, beating the kids, and he was abusive in every way you could think. That was hard to find out after he died. I feel like I didn't even know him. If you signal to the left, but turn to the right, the engine will explode because you lied about which way you were actually turning. That the person who I thought was my dad for 28 years wasn't my biological dad. Everyone in my family knew, and no one thought to tell me. All that stuff they told me in church when I was a kid growing up. It took years to undo that programming. That Santa Claus wasn't real. My folks told me when I was about 7 or 8 years old that Santa Claus wasn't real. Come to find out, he actually is real. I actually got a chance to meet him in person at the North Pole just last year. He's cool in person, kind of a jolly old man. That there's a Sky accountant watching and caring for me, but will not hesitate to burn me for eternity if I do not give 10% of my gross earnings to his satellite office. An Uber driver in Sydney once told me that he owned a gold mine in Africa that was worth $1 trillion and that he just did Uber so that he could meet people. The engine light was on in his Toyota Camry.
There's a purple flag